Test 1, 2. You hear me now? All right. How did Carl know it was happy birthday then? You hear me now, Dom? I think so. It's a technological world. Nothing's perfect. It's a technological world. Okay. I guess we can. All right, now you can hear me. So I don't know how Carl knew it was. Okay, so anyway, hello, welcome to the show. That's weird. Wrong microphone. I can't afford a producer yet. You hear me now? Okay, very good. Why did you say happy birthday? Carl, whose birthday was it? I'm not sure. It was a really good introduction, too. All right, I'll start all over again. Hello, welcome to the show. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Okay. You said happy birthday. Happy Monday. I was saying, though, that today would have been my father's 84th birthday, and I'm going to go out and celebrate later. Had a nice lunch earlier today with some family, so that was good. Bad Dog. Can't go wrong at Bad Dog. Delicious food. And it was a great lunch. So it's been interesting over the weekend, right? You know, like we've seen some more entertainment things sort of opening up a little bit more, right? But I would have thought things would have been a whole lot busier than they seem like they are. But it's nice to see live entertainment coming back and just people still getting out and walking around. So I was saying it's a nice time of year for riding a motorcycle. It's not too hot. It's not too cold, right? It's still nice. So I think maybe Jennifer and I might do a motorcycle ride after the show today. It's hockey season. Is it? OHL, right? We're back, sort of. It's weird because I was there doing the live broadcast. We had the black and white game for United Way, which we'll talk about coming up, and then the preseason games. And it's only limited to like 1,000 people, which is the season's tickets holder, I guess you could say. So we're back, sort of, I guess. But the fans that are there are happy to be back, and the Sarnia Sting are happy to be back. Really, it's kind of an exciting time for the Sarnia Sting because we've got not a whole new team, but there's a lot. Like there's 10 new rookies, right? And it kind of happens like that, I guess, every few years, right? And we've got a few away at NHL camps and stuff. But they played Windsor yesterday. They played them Friday and lost 5-4, and they were down 5-1. And let me tell you, the way they came back in the third period was like, wow, that was amazing. So it was just one goal a little too late, but they're hungry out there. And then they played Windsor. It was payback down on Windsor yesterday, if you're watching today, Monday. And Sarnia won 6-3. So they've got it in them, it would seem so far. It feels funny going to hockey. Like it's still warm out, right? You know, it's supposed to be cold when you go to a hockey game, isn't it? I don't know. Careful what you wish for. We don't want that weather too quickly, but it's coming, right? And I was talking about that at lunch today, and it's like, oh, it's going to be cold. It's like, what do we get? Like 3 months? And not even like at the end of December, it kind of starts to really get cold. So you got January, February, March, maybe. I don't know. It's not that bad. Right? Got out over the weekend too. Had a nice motorcycle ride with our friends from Oswald's, and they did a community ride for SODA, the Sarnia Organ Donor Awareness Group here in Sarnia. About 50 motorcycles showed up. They had a beautiful ride through the county. Made a stop for a barbecue, and then back to Oswald's. I'm not sure how much money was raised, but along the way there was a stop, and there was a young lady who's told her story about the support of SODA and how she had an organ transplant back in, I think it was like 93. And it was just an incredible story. You know, it was like the organ came through the last minute of the hour kind of thing. And she's been able to survive because of SODA. So if you don't know about them, check them out. Sarnia Organ Donor Awareness Group, pardon me, on Facebook, and you can find out more. And they were asking as well, like if you're not a donor, you often get asked when you renew your license. Obviously, people haven't been renewing their licenses like they were supposed to, but now that you got to go back and get that done, I would encourage you to consider being an organ donor. And if you don't know if you're an organ donor, and I didn't know this, you can take out your health card. Do I have mine here? I think I do. Take out your health card, and on the back, if I can get it out there, right? Pretty sure it's on the back. There it is. Yes, donor, right? On the top right here, it'll tell you. It'll say donor if you're a donor. So if you don't know, check your health card. And again, if you're not, I would encourage you to consider doing that. And before we move on, let's say thanks to our sponsors, our supporters that come here and have been here for a long, long time supporting us. And we're really grateful for their support to be able to continue to bring the show. One of them, of course, being Oswald's Diner. You can check them out in their menu at oswalds.com. Our friends Hughes Intelligence have been supporting us for several years now, and they'll be supporting us at the Sarnia Sting again this year. And Active Ears Hearing Center, Christine Fiji, a very generous, kind person as well here in our community. He's always giving back into the community. And AG Event Graphics, visit them online at askguy.ca. Hearing Signs, SWOs, several group companies coming to us for giving us support via askguy.ca. So thanks to Guy and Kevin and all the staff down there. And of course, in the last few years, Joe's Discount Tire. Now, I had this discussion too. Just because you have all-season tires doesn't mean they're winter tires. Now, I don't know why they call them all-seasons tires, but winter tires, right? And it's going to be here before you know it. So start planning now to get those winter tires on. Go see Joe's at Joe's Discount Tire for your deal on your tires. And they're all great supporters here of the show, and very grateful for that to be able to keep the show going. So thanks to all of our supporters. And of course, we're talking about live music coming back. Rooster, which is out on the Golden Mile, haven't made it there yet. A couple of times I keep seeing lots of videos. I have been talking with the owners there, and we're going to get out there soon and do some stuff. But open mic jam there every Wednesday night from 6 to 9, and you can go out and be in the audience and enjoy the live music out there, even if you don't play. And I think the Mudmen are coming up there, and there's a few others. There's live entertainment there throughout the weekend. Just find them online at Rooster on Facebook, right? And we had one of the owners here a few weeks ago talking about they've got some big plans. They got a cool app coming out that's going to support musicians as well. So we'll be having them back to talk more about that. All right. If you haven't done it yet, I would ask that you please go and visit my website there, theshowlive.live, and get signed up for my free newsletter. About twice a month you'll hear from me. Twice a month you'll hear from me. And you'll get updated on some things that you won't always see here on the show as well. And if you haven't found it or subscribed yet, my YouTube channel as well. Getting closer to 1,000 subscribers. And when we do, we're going to have a party. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have some kind of a party. Speaking of parties, on November the 6th, mark this down on your calendar, November the 6th at the Moose Lodge in Sarnia. November 6th at the Moose Lodge in Sarnia. We're going to have a party celebrating 10 years of the show. So it's obviously going to be limited to how many people can be in the room at the time. There'll be some personal invitations going out, and then others will just be able to. Anyway, we're going to have more details on that. My friend Dane is helping me plan that. We're going to have some music and fun and food, and there's a bar there too. You know, of course, we'll have some fun. And I'm really looking forward to actually going through and seeing. I've got so much paraphernalia we're going to have on display over 10 years of doing the show that we're going to be able to show off. And it's just nice to look back and reflect on that stuff. So I hope you'll be able to join me for that. So mark it down, November the 6th. All right, well, let's get out into the community and start talking United Way. He's here once a month, and it seemed like it was just here last week, and he's already back. We got him here, Executive Director Dave Brown. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks, David. How are you? I just had time to sign up for your newsletter. So.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for doing that. There you go. It was easy. It was painless, right?
So my name and my email address and submit. And now I'm connected.
Now you're connected. Now you're hooked. Now you're in big trouble.
Absolutely.
I was talking about you earlier.
You could do that. You've always got great information on our community and what's going on. So there's no reason why everybody in Sarnia is not signed up to the show live.
Thanks very much for that, Dave. I was talking about you earlier at lunch, actually, because I went and had lunch with my stepmother, right? And yes. She said, "Oh, I know Dave Brown," and I said, "Yeah, we were talking about you. We caught you on one of your walks there one day. So you guys live in the same building there."
I think you mentioned that. I think she's in the same building as I am.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, welcome back. Like I said, it seemed like, he's back already. It seemed like a month just went by real quick. You heard me talking about the Sarnia Sting there a little bit. You were at the black and white game. Probably not the kind of turnout that you're used to in the past, but it still worked out okay.
Absolutely. You probably know we raised so far $1,100 from the black and white game, which is up $1,100 last year. So we're thrilled to
right.
The pieces that we've got $1,100 that we didn't have last year. Plus the awareness. Everybody that came out knew that it was the United Way event. There was a lot of United Way activity on the scoreboard and lots of information around the rink. So, that kind of publicity you cannot put a price on as well. But certainly our bank account is a little bit better because of the Sarnia Sting. And we certainly, as they get closer to kick off their campaign, and hopefully they have a very successful season as well.
Yeah, you've got actually quite a bit going on. You sent me some information earlier. It's really nice to see just the continued ongoing support of businesses, not just individuals, but businesses in the community. We're going to talk about Lambton Kia, Bagel Factory, and a few others. Let's start with Lambton Kia.
Well, we're really happy. Lambton Kia is having their fall upgrade event, which takes place today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And they're putting a little bit of a United Way focus on their event this year, and that for every car that they sell during the 3 days, right up until closed on Wednesday, they'll donate $100 to the United Way. So
wow.
That's the first time. We're really excited about that. They hope to sell 10 cars over the next 3 days. So again, that's another $1,000 that we didn't have last year. And we're hopeful that they're going to enjoy partnering with us as much as we have with them so far. So maybe that'll become an annual event as well. Who knows? But it's a great start. And you're right, David. It's not just individuals and corporations that support the United Way. It's small and local business. And they've all been struggling, and nobody knows that more than you. So some of these cross-promotional activities that we're doing is a great way to promote local businesses, local United Way, and how we can create a win-win for both of us.
I was going to say real win-win, and it's interesting since the pandemic. Like Sarnia-Lambton's always been a very giving. We've said it before. It's amazing how the community comes together. But it seems like the community's been coming together, but in different ways. It seems a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a little more effort even put into, okay, I want to help you, but how can this help me? And there's nothing wrong with saying, how can you help my business? And I want to help you.
That's right. The term we like to use is creative.
Right.
Creative ways that people come out and support the United Way. And certainly we've had to be creative in the office as well. We're not having those food events that we used to have. We're not having the chili days and the hot dog days and that kind of thing. So we're doing some online things, and we can talk a little bit about what some of the creativity some of our employee campaigns are doing going forward. But we know that small business is important to our community. It's jobs for students, it's jobs for the local economy. They sponsor local sport teams and whatnot. But they also want to support the community through social services and helping those who may be in poverty and youth and whatnot. So we believe that the United Way is nicely positioned so that with all of our social media assets and our friends in the media, such as yourself, we can talk about and promote some of the that they do, and in turn provide some business.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic to see that creativity come out. But there's still something to be saying for that. Still looking for some of that normalcy it's coming our way, I think.
Well, and absolutely. I mean, your viewers may be interested to know that we're just in our second week of campaigning. We're at $402,000, which represents 23%. But the kicker, David, is that's over 800 donors already. And most of those 800 donors are retirees, they're professional business people, maybe accountants, dentists, lawyers, and whatnot, and they're small business owners who historically write their check to the United Way, send it in through the mail. So 800 donors in just our second week. So we look at that as a positive indication that people understand that not only is United Way local, but we're relevant. We understand the local needs as they are today, and they may be different from 2 years ago, and it may be different going forward. But we've got a 3-step volunteer process that keeps relevant on what those needs are. And so those individuals, and many of them are, as I said, retirees from 4,000 letters we've already mailed out, understand what the United Way's role is in our community and continue to support us early and often.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's talk about some of the other businesses that are helping out here. We've got, see, the Bagel Factory is going to give $1 from every dozen sold through the month of October.
Yes, and that's really part 2. They did that in March.
Yeah,
and it was so successful. I think we raised about $1,700 through that, what we call it, March Bagel Madness. It was so successful that they want to do it in October, and they're launching a new flavor, pumpkin spice bagels. And so we're tying that into the promotion as well. And again, they're a local business. 2 sisters own it. And, they're always supportive of the community.
I see Detallo's Bakery's in there. We've got Christo's is in there. So we've got pizza. What is it with you, United Way, and food?
You have a conflict of interest, isn't it?
Right.
Well, that seems to work for us, Yeah. And of course, we've got the LCBO point of sale coming up starting Thursday, I think. So that's not really a food item, but certainly you can get your wine to go with some of those delicious food products from our local vendors.
Yeah, very, very unique. And boy, I'm putting the pounds on just talking about it, Dave. Let's talk about some of the other things happening here with the United Way. Healthy people and strong communities.
Yeah, that's one of our 3 new funding focuses. That's really divided into 2 people. The healthy people part is, VON and some of our mental health programming through the Family Counseling Center and through Opening Doors. The mental health piece is very important. We're funding the Safe Talk through Canadian Mental Health, which helps suicide prevention and that kind of thing. So that's the strong communities part. The healthy people is the VON, the Meals on Wheels, the transportation programs that are offered both in Sarnia and in rural Lambton through, of course, Red Cross in Sarnia, Lambton Elderly Outreach in rural, but there's also stroke recovery, which is actually called New Beginnings ABI Stroke Recovery for those people who have either had a stroke or a brain injury. And so, that's a big piece of what we're funding. Approximately 30% next year of our available allocations will go to that healthy people, strong communities, which, as I said, is really seniors programming and mental health.
Yeah. And we talk about, we often say the seniors programming, and I think, and let's talk about, it's not just about the seniors here at the United Way. I think that's, we talked about that last time. There's kind of a label there of, it's all about, but there's a lot of youth programs that are part of the United Way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We've always put major emphasis on youth programming. We want to invest in kids so that they can succeed in schools, develop supportive relationships. Essentially, we want to give them all the tools to make healthy choices so they can handle life's challenges. And I know you're familiar with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Club. We're currently funding Rebound. And 2 of the ones that I really like talking about is the Youth Resource Houses, which provide breakfast and nutrition to those neighborhoods that are more geared to income, more at-risk kids. They also have after-school help there and nutritional breaks. And then the other is subsidizing the autism summer camp to really assist those children who have autism. Keep a school-like routine during the summer months so that when September comes around, when it's back to school, they're already ready to learn. And we've heard some outstanding outcomes and impacts from both of those YMCA programs.
Yeah. What about, let's talk about back to school. Like here we are back to school. Some are they're still like college stuff, still getting ready to go back. But what about during school? Is there programs that United Way supports during school?
Well, certainly the Youth Resource Houses will assist in that during the school year. A lot of moms and dads in those neighborhoods work a couple of part-time jobs, and they may have to be at work by 8, even though the bus hasn't come by yet. So what are they going to do with their children? Or maybe they're working until 5 or 6 o'clock at night, but the kids get dropped off 3:30. What do those children do? Well, fortunately, in those 3 neighborhoods, we've got the Youth Resource Houses. It's a safe place for those children to go. They moms and dads know that they're being looked after. They're doing homework help, that kind of thing. And in the downtown core area, we've got the Boys and Girls Club, which we actually fund 3 programs of theirs. But the biggest one is the after school program there. Same thing. It's a place where kids can go. It's safe. It's downtown. Help with their homework. Maybe, somebody to talk to if they're having issues at school and whatnot. And then school buses will actually pick them up or drop them off right there at that location at the Seaway Kiwanis building. So certainly those 3 quickly come to mind. Big brothers and big sisters, it's not just the matching program. One of the more popular programs that they have is the in-school mentoring. So that would be for people who could have an in-school mentor, maybe during the lunch recess, somebody from a local bank or somebody from Imperial or somebody from some local business or corporation.
Okay.
Spends an hour with them and just provides some adult mentorship, talking about decision-making skills, maybe anger management, maybe more information on a career they might be interested in. And that takes place right at the school. So kids don't have to get there after school. They don't have to make room for after-school activities. The in-school mentoring program takes place right at the school.
That's a lot. Transportation can be very disadvantageous, I guess. So what's the word? For lack thereof transportation. And we're talking a lot about local, but United Way supports Lambton County, right?
Yes. And, as much as transportation can be a major issue or stumbling block in the city of Sarnia, imagine if you live in rural Lambton, particularly if you live alone, or maybe you've got a 1-vehicle family, but you need to get to services. And whether it's going to the Opening Doors program in Forest or Watford or some kind of a counseling program somewhere, that transportation is important. And not only, David, for medical appointments and doctor's appointments and to London for whatever medical appointments there, it's also to grocery stores or food banks.
Yeah.
And some folks, part of their quality of life is getting their hair done. So if they can get their hair done on Friday, that's their social outing. That's what they look forward to.
Yeah.
And that's all part of the mental health piece there and all part of the inclusion strategy that we have, where people want to be and need to be feeling that they're not alone, that they're included in society. And for some seniors, that may be all that they need or want is to get their hair done or to get to church or whatever. And you're right, David, the Lambton Elderly Outreach and the Canadian Red Cross are there to provide that transportation services where needed.
Yeah, it's really impactful, all these services. And you kind of read my mind there. We say, this is, just getting a haircut is social for people. It's their look forward to getting out of the house, right? Oh, it's Friday and I get to go get my haircut finally. And I get to see my barber or my hairdresser or whoever. And the lady that gets her hair done the same time as I do, who knows what the reasons are, right? And that, when you look at different organizations, because I'm sure, when you open up that window, as you recently did for organizations to apply, that's probably a consideration of what you support is how impactful is it on that individual.
That's right. All of the programs that we fund are measurable, and they have to provide 3 measures for each program. And it has to be measurable for not only the client, but also the family and the community at large. So somebody may be saying, well, I don't care about them funding Rebound or Big Brothers, for example. I don't have kids. My kids are all adults and they've grown. No, that may be true, but you care about vandalism in your community. You care about the safety in your community. As a taxpayer, you worry about court costs for these petty crimes.
Right.
So if these young adults have goal-setting skills, something to drive for, decision-making skills, that's going to reduce all that. So that has a profound effect on the entire community, not just on the individual and family. So that's just one example of how we look at that kind of thing. Some of our poverty funding, we know that some of these folks are not able to get retraining and get a job. I mean, we know that these people are very hard to house for addictions and for a number of problems. But if we can keep them healthy through providing them a nutritious meal every day or a nutritious snack, fruit juice and whatnot, then maybe that's reducing their trips to the emergency department. And as a taxpayer, if they're going to the hospital less, that saves all of us with our healthcare dollars. It also means maybe we wait an hour at the emergency room if we happen to break a leg or arm or something, and not 2 or 3 hours
Right.
by people who are constantly going there. So that's what I say. In one instance, we're not necessarily keeping people out of poverty, although that's one of our pillars, and we have a number of strategies to do that. But
Yeah.
we're also recognizing the fact that some people can't do that. So there's other community impacts we can have by keeping them safe and healthy, and they call it harms reduction for those folks.
Yeah. And it's not just a handout, these programs, it's well, our friends at Preferred Towing like to say it's a hand up, and that's the way to look at it. We all need help from time to time. And it's good to know. And I've learned a lot about the United Way over, I don't know, we've been doing this a couple of years now, really, longer, I think. I've learned a lot of the services and I guess the philosophies of the United Way is really, aside from keeping the money, all the money stays local. Right. It's local board of directors making decisions. There's not somebody from Toronto or wherever. Toronto gets a bad name, eh? It's not somebody from far away, I guess, or out of town, coming in and saying, well, this is how we do it. These are local volunteers, business people, community members, right?
Absolutely. And when it comes time to the funding decisions for those 20 agencies that we're currently funding, or 40 programs and services, it's actually a 3-step volunteer process. And we're in the middle of that right now, where we're recruiting panel volunteers. In fact, we've just recruited them. We're setting up the training now. And they identify they research all of the agency programs and services that are asking for funding from the United Way. They review their budgets. They review their outcome measures and that kind of thing. And then once they're done, and there's several panels with several volunteers on each, they will then make a recommendation to the Community Investment Committee, and they weigh all of the recommendations from those panel volunteers with how much money is available. So that kind of takes place more towards the end of the campaign. So we can say, okay, well, we've got $2 million in requests, but we've got $1.6 million available, and it's that middle group, this Community Investment Committee, that kind of massages those recommendations and figures out who should get the 1.6 million. And then it goes to our volunteer board of directors. So it's a 3-step volunteer process over a 6 to 8 month process. So we can identify where those donated dollars are most needed. And I think that's one of the reasons why people really respect the United Way and how we do things, is everybody wants to help. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Everybody knows that people want to help. The issue is sometimes we don't know the best way to help, or we don't know what agency or what segment of the population is most in need. But we have that 3-step volunteer process that does that. But we also have a group that review on an ongoing basis to make sure that money is going where it should, that they're getting the number of service stats that they need. In other words, and the number of people getting that program and service as they originally told us, and to make sure that we've got a tangible and measurable result at the end. Yes, these kids did stay in school. These kids are less likely to be teen moms, and that kind of thing. So it really is, we're the financial planner for charitable donations. That's another way of looking at it, where we really go through and identify who's most in need and what the best return on that investment is.
Right. I love the transparency. It's good that you share all of that. And there's a reason why we keep having Dave Brown from United Way back here, folks, is sometimes we talk about a lot of the same stuff, but we talk about some new stuff that is happening, because the United Way wants you to understand where your dollars go, besides just staying local, how they're working and how they're impacting the community. What are we taking a look at here?
Well, this year's a picture of Audrey, who runs the River City Vineyard Homeless Shelter, and we gave them around $100,000, not quite $100,000 last year, through emergency COVID-19 funding. So they can do renovations, so they can allow women into the shelter for the first time, not just men, renovate some washrooms and that kind of thing. But we continued to fund them in 2021 with the nutritious snack program. So we're funding them $1,000 a month, so that they can provide apples and oranges, a bottle of water, fruit juice, and that kind of thing to those people who who just need something to keep them going during the day. Not
Yeah.
always can they get to soup kitchens, particularly if they're in limited production because of the COVID restrictions. But everybody
Or transportation.
Exactly. So they're located in the downtown area, of course, on Main Street. And so we're really proud of our relationship with them. And they're doing an outstanding job with that $1,000 a month.
And $1,000 a month, you go like, well, that doesn't sound like, to some of us, oh, that's not a lot of money. But
right.
I have apples and oranges and bananas in my fridge, and I just take it for granted every day. I don't mean take it for granted in a I'm owed this. It's there and I take it, right? And that apple, that orange, that bottle of water really can get somebody through the entire day.
Well, especially when it's really hot. I mean, these poor folks have nowhere to go. It's not like they can go to air conditioning basement or an apartment or something anymore. So they need that liquid refreshment. They need the vitamin C from the apples, and which are a lot of water as well. So you can imagine how that's important, and even during cold winter months, to keep their body nutritionally adequate. If they have to handle a cold night somewhere or afternoon, they're best equipped to do that. And that's part of that harms reduction we were talking about earlier. If we can keep these people as safe and as healthy as possible, then that helps the entire community.
Yeah, for sure. Dave Brown, thanks, my friend, for stopping by and giving me your time and sharing this information again. I think it's important that we keep getting it out there. And give virtual hugs to all your staff there as well. I know they work very hard to you've got quite a team down there.
I really do. You're absolutely right. And, they play such a vital role in our community. And certainly I want to thank you, David, and all your viewers. Many have already donated to the United Way. Some of them may be part of that 800 donors already, but soon will be over the next 3 or 4 months. As your listeners probably know, the campaign goes right up until the end of the year. So it's never too late to make your contribution to the United Way. You put our website up. There's easy links to follow to make your donation right online, or give our office a call and we can facilitate your contribution over there.
On the new website that you got there, right? And it looks awesome, and it's got lots of, it's very simple. I like that it's just kind of simple to find things. That's good. Right on. Dave, thanks so much, my friend. And I'm sure I'll see you out walking around before the next time we have you back.
It's always a pleasure, and I think we're overdue for a lunch as well. We've been talking about that for a couple of months too.
I've got many reasons to have one this week. Let's work on that.
Okay, that sounds good. I will after the show. I'll text you some dates. Okay,
sounds good. Thanks, Dave. Executive Director and my friend Dave Brown from United Way of Sarnia-Lambton, and we've been doing it over a couple of years now that we have Dave here once a month. And it's important because we want to keep getting the message out of the importance of the United Way in our communities and here in Lambton County as well. And I learned something new every single time. I haven't got tired of him yet, or he hasn't got tired of me, whatever. So we're still having a good time. And I know he'll be back again next month. And just a reminder, if you haven't given to the United Way and you're not sure why you should still, there's the website. Go there and check it out. They got a brand new website that's nice and simple and easy to read and understand what they're doing. And maybe you can find a way to donate to the United Way. All right, just before we go, I know my friend Dom was out there watching. I want to give him a shout out about his book one more time, My Journey with MS, A Long Road, still available on Amazon.ca. And if you happen to be in the U.S., Amazon.com as well. And a portion of the proceeds from the sale of this book does go to support the MS Society as well. And you support Dom by going, hey, people are buying my book and I'm making an impact. And that's really what he wanted to do. And I'm proud to say that he asked me, I wrote the foreword for his book. So if you want to just read it because of that. No, I'm just kidding. But it really is great to support my friend Dom. He's had struggle for many years, but he's still inspiring, and he's proven many of us wrong. He was here on the show last week. If you want to see that interview, you can check it out on Facebook as well. Alrighty, well, that's all the time I got for you this week. Thanks again to my friend Dave Brown for joining us. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I'll see you next time right here on the show. Bye for now.